Well, viewers, in the last 48 hours, so much has happened in the India-US partnership that it's hard to keep pace. On one end, Donald Trump is extending praises on India and Prime Minister Modi, and on the other end, there are efforts to squeeze New Delhi to bring it on the negotiating table. This time, there is an India-specific punitive measure that's been leveled by Donald Trump. And in fact, let me first take you through the flip-flops and then get you to the sweet talking that Donald Trump is trying to do in the hope that nobody is going to see through it. Let's get you some of the flip-flops that is actually done. Now, first and foremost, he's actually called Prime Minister Modi his friend. This is as part of the birthday greetings that Donald Trump had extended. He'd even termed him doing a fantastic job. Next up, India-US teams, trade teams held trade talks. The representatives met. This was not a trade talk per se, but leading up to it, a precursor to trade talks. Even that had actually been completely frozen. So this was a positive movement forward. Now look at the other flip-flop that has happened. Then it dubs and clubs India in the list of the drug transit countries. There are a bunch of countries that have been identified because the US wants to crack down on fentanyl, and India has actually been clubbed in that, along with Pakistan, China, Afghanistan and several others. The second flip-flop that Donald Trump has done is it has revoked the sanctions waiver for Chabahar port. This is an India-only measure, viewers, and that's why it's so important. Chabahar port is India's response to China's Gwadar. It ensures that India has a strategic play in that region, something that America has actually backed in the past, which is why there was a sanctions waiver. That has now been revoked, an India-specific measure. Let's now play out what exactly Donald Trump said with regard to the India-US relationship, the sweet talk that he's doing, and then I come back and tell you the scenarios that he's actually facing, because all of this is going to hurt the American economy. First up, listen in to him. We come back and talk more.
And as you know, I'm very close to India. I'm very close to the Prime Minister of India. I spoke to him the other day, wished him a happy birthday. We have a very good relationship. He put out a beautiful statement too. We have, but I said, you know, I sanctioned them. China is paying a very large tariff right now to the United States. But I'm willing to do other things, but not when the people that I'm fighting for are buying oil from Russia. If the oil price comes down, very simply, Russia will settle.
Okay, so that is what Donald Trump was saying. And now let's play out some of the scenarios that lie ahead for the India-US relationship and for Donald Trump himself. First and foremost, the first scenario, which is there, that India-US reach a limited trade deal. They focus only a few aspects of their bilateral trade and leave out some of the contentious issues, which is agriculture, corn, soya bean. Those are the most contentious issues. Leave them out, take a limited trade deal and move the relationship forward. The second scenario, Donald Trump pushes ahead for a full trade pact. He says that he's committed to his MAGA base and he's not going to move ahead till the time he puts agriculture at the center of those talks. And the moment that happens, the deal is unlikely to go any forward, simply because there are some deal breakers on both sides. India cannot allow complete access to American corn and American soya bean because it's completely on GM, and that means both sides harden their stance. And what does US do in return, Trump do in return? It continues to sanction India with regard to Russia war, thinking that that's the leverage it has. Again, something that's likely to backfire, because how long will you keep telling your MAGA base that you're not being able to get a trade deal? Third scenario, that in my opinion is probably the most likely to happen, weak American economic data that forces Donald Trump to suspend tariffs. Fed chief has already said that there are going to be 2 more rate cuts. The job growth has actually been lower. Inflation is rising in the US. All of this is going to come back and bite the American public, and they're going to ask Donald Trump that you promised us the moon with those tariffs. Look what is happening. The sooner that happens, in all probability, that's when Donald Trump is going to see that these tariffs are not working.